Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here, and today we will be taking a quick look at AwesomeNauts, the 2D side-scrolling MOBA game from Ronimo Games. Currently in the beta for the PC, this was originally released on PSN and Xbox Live. They have decided to port it over to the PC, and actually the game's developers got in touch with me, asked if I wanted to take a look at the game in the beta, and that's what we're going to be doing here. So let's go ahead and start things off by jumping in a quick match. So they've got a couple different options. You can set up a battle locally or through the internet. You can do practice matches, or you can just jump into a quick match, which is what I'll be doing here. Now you can see there are a variety of characters. They are unlocked as you level up and progress through the game. Currently at the moment I actually only have access to 2 characters, and in this video we'll be taking a look at Mr. Froggy G. Yes, the frog gangster. Now this is actually pretty interesting. This is a loadout. What this is when it comes to the item store in the game, you can basically upgrade your abilities. You have got 4 abilities total. There's a basic attack, a jump, and then kind of 2 special abilities. Mr. Froggy G here has a dart forward that also does damage and stuns a target. He's got a spinning tornado, he's got his basic attack, and then he's got his jump. So what you get to do here is in the store you get to have 3 upgrades for each of your 4 abilities. And with this loadout selection you essentially get to choose which ones you want. So it's pretty interesting, a little bit different than the typical MOBA store, and this is a little bit different than your typical MOBA, so that's why I think, I don't know, I think it's pretty interesting. I really like the atmosphere of the game. It's got a very, you know, kind of tongue-in-cheek flavor to it. There's a lot of joking around. Froggy G's got like a little rap song that plays whenever you go on a killing spree. That's his like theme song in general, but pretty interesting. Let's first off start this video though by taking a look at the general layout. So this is going to work like most MOBAs do. You have got all those basic elements. You've got the creep that moves from either of the 2 bases. So there's a base on the opposing ends. You've got the jungle area, which in the jungle you can actually kill NPCs to gain health, and then there are these little boss guys as well. And obviously different character classes with different ability types. You can see I'm actually up against, I got a kill right away, unfortunately. I think I died immediately as well. 1 for 1. I'm okay with that trade a lot of times. So this is actually really cool as well. You'll probably have noticed it at the start of the video and you're like, what the heck is this? This is actually how you start the game, and those little squares there, those little cubes, that is the game's income. So after you die, or when you first go into the game, you are launched out of this pod, and you have to try to collect that. Now there's 3 maps as far as I know currently available in the beta for the PC version of the game, and every map has got like a different oh gosh, what is the word that I'm looking for? It's got a different setup for those cubes. It's got a different layout. So it is static. So once eventually, I'm sure people will just learn exactly where they are and try to, you know, maximize the amount that you get, because that is income that lets you buy stuff in the store here. So here I am, Mr. Froggy G, moving around. I already got 1 kill so far. I'm gonna charge forward, stun that guy, and that actually set up my team for a 2nd kill. And then I'm gonna pull back here to the safety of the turret. So yes, all those basic elements that you find in MOBA games. We've got turrets. There's only 2 lanes here. You'll notice a top and a bottom lane. Again, this is a 2D platforming, side-scrolling MOBA game. It's not, you know, your standard isometric view or the view that we're getting from a game like Smite, whereas it's, you know, the third-person perspective as well. So a little bit different take on it. Again, that tongue-in-cheek attitude, lots of comedic value behind this game as well. But when it comes to MOBA, you know, again, it has those elements. It's got the creep, it's got the towers, it's got the bases, and you do what you do in MOBAs. You kill the creep to try to push towards the towers. You take out the towers. You try to gank the opposing team to get income. When you gank them, they'll actually drop coins as opposed to things just appearing for you, so you got to pick those up. And let's see it here. Actually, I don't know if we ended up getting one here or if I died. I died a few times in this. This game went all right for me, and I'm actually not going to show you the full game. The full game took an hour. I think I'll probably show you about 15 or 20 minutes of it, because you get the gist. So the point of this video is to just expose you guys to the game. So for those of you who aren't console gamers, who don't have Xbox Live or PSN, and you might be interested in something like this, so I just wanted to briefly show it to you guys. And again, thanks to the guys at Ronimo Games for letting me try out the beta. I had a lot of fun with what I've played so far. Haven't played the game too much. I would say in total I've probably spent about 4 hours on it. And you're going to say 4 sets kind of a lot, but for a MOBA game it's really not. And you know, you have to level up to unlock all the characters, and that's a you know, a process in and of itself, and that's an important process because you have to of course learn all the characters. The ones that I know so far are the rogue type guy, this guy, and then that other guy with the cowboy hat that you start off. Obviously I don't know their names. I say I know them, I can't even give you their names. I know their abilities, I know essentially what they do, and I've got a fair idea of what that giant tank guy does as well, just from playing up against him. But you're going to notice here jumping up and down, pretty cool little hidden areas there, those areas that are highlighted in yellow. If you're in there, your opposing team can't see you unless they are in there themselves, so it's a little bit of a hiding spot, kind of like, I guess, you know, like the side brush and the shrubbery that you see in League of Legends. It's a good kind of comparison there. I had a lot of fun playing Froggy G. I go on a killing spree this game, and it starts playing. It starts playing his hip-hop theme song in the background, and it just cracked up. Alright, so there you go. You can see these are the skill loadouts that we looked at the start of the game, and that is, of course, the shop. You can teleport to it at any time by holding down the F key, and then once you're there, you hit S to access the shop, and then that's where you pick from what you selected at your skill loadout for that particular character. So again, you can only select 3 sort of upgrades or enhancements for each of your 4 abilities. So they've got Mr. Froggy G on their team as well. And we have got Ninja Dude, Cowboy Hat. And I thought we had a 4th too. I think we have a healer. He died a lot in this game though, so we actually don't get to see a ton of him. And really, you can't push those towers at all without creep. The exception like that bull right there, that bull actually provides a little bit of avenue. I'm assuming other characters have things like that will absorb turret fire so that you can go in and try to do some damage. And when the big guy does that little area of effect around him, you stay away from that because after a short duration it explodes, and as far as I can tell it does a crap ton of damage. And you can obviously see that guy's got a ton of HP as well. He is a tank in the most basic of terms. So moving down here, trying to prevent our tower from getting destroyed. There are those health globes scattered throughout the maps. They are not random, they are in set positions. And again, you can see those coins on the ground, or cubes, they're not coins, but that is your money. And these little guys in the jungle area is what I'll call this. Again, you can kill them to gain health. So we're going to charge that guy. The stun from that charge is phenomenal. I love it. Had a lot of fun with this guy. I mean, he shoots like ice out of a fish. Like, what? And it just, you know, goes to show you we're actually pushing the tower here. Looks like you get that. Turret. He's gonna try to move to us. One thing I realized after the recording of this game, I played a game prior to this with Froggy G, where with the tornado ability, which is my middle mouse button. Oh, also you can use you know, QWE as well to access those abilities. It doesn't need to be right mouse button or middle mouse button. You can use actual keys for that too. But I realized after this that my tornado ability, my middle mouse button, it has an upgrade for increased speed. And I realized after the fact, oh, I could really use that because I had it in my game prior, and it was super effective. I mean, I could even use it to get away. Right now, you can see it's pretty slow. You just saw it activate; it was pretty slow. But with the speed enhancement, if you select that in your loadout, it's even an escape mechanism or a chase down mechanism. I found that so helpful in the first game that I played with him, and when I was playing this game, I was a little bummed out that I didn't have the access to that either. But that was okay. And so just trying to figure out which ones I want to go for here. And there are various levels of them too. You notice I selected that enhancement 2 times. I spent money to upgrade it twice. So there's various levels of these enhancements for your abilities. It's not just and that's a lot of damage that I took there, and staying in that. At that point I realized, okay, I definitely need to not stay in that ever. All right, we're gonna stun this guy here, and I don't believe we got a kill. Force back here. I'm there with the healer, that little guy with the little, gosh, what do I even want to call it? I got the kill, so he killed my ally, and I was able to kill him in return, Mr. Pizza PM1. So, what was I saying there? Yeah, that guy with the little light bulb head, he is a healer for all intents and purposes from what I see. I'm sure he's got some offensive abilities as well, but when I've seen him played, he's primarily been healing. And these are kind of the big boss guys, and I engaged him momentarily, and then I decided, no, I'm just going to push up. Pretty small maps, as you can see. You know, from what I gathered looking at the game's options, I went to sort of a create a game section, and I just wanted to figure out, you know, learn a little bit more about the game. I think there's only 3 maps right now, which, I mean, you know, for MOBA, that's not bad. I think the good thing about this, though, is they could definitely just throw in all sorts of maps to this game, because it's a little bit different. It's not your standard MOBA, you know. It doesn't deal with the standard distances between towers and creep push and timing. I mean, it has creep push as well, but it doesn't seem. It's certainly a big part of it, but it doesn't seem to play as big of a role, at least from my experience so far with the game. You need it really most times. For all intents and purposes, you need it to push a tower. There's another kill. But I think this is where I get my killing spree. Yeah, there it is. So I got the killing spree there, and that guy dies too. And they play my theme music. It's gonna be pretty faint in the background because I don't want the audio level to drown out my commentary here. But they play my theme song on a killing spree. I cracked up. I was laughing so hard when I was like, is there gangster music playing right now? Okay, that's cool. I'm Froggy G after all. That's fine by me. And yes, giant tank guy killed Mr. Gortex. I didn't have much of a problem at all against him, that the melee character with the knife. He was really easy as Froggy G. I don't know if it was just the player or the matchup. I mean, you know, in MOBA games there are various matchups that are one-sided for you know, for the most part. Player skill certainly is involved, but there are heroes or characters which do better against others in certain matchups. So I definitely found, particularly against that melee guy, that I was ruffling. So I was actually about to go back to town quickly to buy, but actually also another big part of the reason was I want to heal up to go back to the shop. But then the healer came in Gortex, and I was like, oh, okay, looks like we're all set. I don't need to do that. And is this where Pizza PM kills me? It could be. Maybe this guy does. I stayed away from the AoE. At that point, I'd realized, yep, don't go near that. And we push back for some health. So yes, there are those health spawns again in certain locations. And we're gonna push the tower. You know, so I don't really have too much to say beyond this point. In fact, I think we're probably going to. I killed Pizza PM and died. I think we're probably gonna cut it in a moment or two. But I can say this. It's a very interesting take on MOBA games. I had a lot of fun playing it. I thought it was quite enjoyable. I'm really into Smite right now, so I don't know if I'm going to switch over full-time to playing AwesomeNauts, but it was fun, you know? So there is currently a beta on Steam. I'm going to actually leave a link to the game site in the comments section below, so if you want to get more information about the game and the PC version, I'm sure you'll be able to do so there. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I would say keep an eye out for this once it eventually does come to PC. I'm sure I'll be announcing, or at least showing, hey guys, it's now available on PC. AwesomeNauts. So take a look at that. So yeah, I'm sure that's going to happen sometime shortly. And actually, if I recall correctly, it's supposed to be coming out on Mac at some point eventually too, but a little bit later. It's first and foremost here for PC. So just a little back and forth tower defense action MOBA game with a fun little twist, and the platforming too, and that's another thing too. Let me just quickly, this adds like a whole new aspect. I am very sloppy at platforming. I'm sure you've seen some missed jumps in here, and just like that right there, I was just kind of pushing up against the edge. Like ideally I'd want to jump to my desired location instead of spending all that extra time and getting stuck there. But yeah, it adds a new aspect to it. It adds a new dimension. And I don't think that can be understated, because I think it's going to, you know, it's going to spice things up a little bit. Things are a little bit different when you have to deal with platforming, and you're not dealing with a character who his feet are locked down on the ground. You know, there's a whole nother angle for you to worry about and to consider. Now, of course, at the same time, you take away kind of the left and right, the angular movement that you get when playing isometrically. But yeah, again, it's a different, interesting take. It's got a very unique style, both art-wise and just the tone of the game, the comedic value, the tongue-in-cheekness, and yeah, lots of fun. I enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this quick look of AwesomeNauts for PC, currently in the beta. And I'm sure there's plenty of other footage of the console version of the game, so if you'd like to check out more about the game, just do a quick YouTube search. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe, and as always, keep watching and keep owning.